you know what? Craig did it again. I'm drinking this Mexican Cerveza. Is that what it's called, Craig?
Yes.
It's shit.
What?
I'm sorry, Craig, but it's shit. No, I'm just kidding. It is just... I got the lime in here. You don't need a lime.
The lime kills the head. That's the only problem, because the oils in the skin kills the head.
I'm not an expert. Craig's the expert, but...
Well, I don't.
You know what?
Wouldn't say that, but...
It's just on point with any other beer of this category out there. I'm not saying it because Craig's a good friend of mine. I'm saying it because I know what my taste buds are saying. And hold on, let me take another drink.
So you tried it without the lime first, and then we tried
it without the lime,
and then we put the lime in.
Yes, it was excellent without the lime, and then the lime just took it to another level. And do you know what? It's, I don't know.
Awesome.
Like, can you teach the masses how to brew this stuff?
They know how to do it.
I'm sure they know how.
I'm not going to say Cooper's because they think I work for Cooper's, which I don't, but you get yourself a
Who
Cooper's.
Thinks you work for Cooper's? Everybody?
There's been jokes.
Oh, there's been jokes. What, is this a Cooper's?
Yeah, it's a Cooper's Mexican Cerveza.
Well, you know what? I don't think Craig works for Cooper's, but Cooper's is doing well. But Craig perfected it.
Oh, I didn't do anything to it. I just made it.
You just made it. Yeah, exactly. You made it.
I did the 5 and 7.
It's
they know
excellent.
What that is.
Hold on, let me take another drink. Do you know what? It beats Corona, and he made it in his basement. You know, like, I don't know. Like, it's just ridiculous how good it is.
They know that.
I know they know that, but like, I'm just trying to stress how good it is.
It's just a simple pre-hopped beer kit, and you can make good beer with it, and that's all there is to it.
So you're telling me I can brew stuff like this?
Yeah, absolutely. You've got the equipment. You got the beer, the stuff.
I don't have the room. I live in a small little place.
It takes up a square foot. Come on.
Yeah, but...
Do you have a square foot? He's got a homebrew, and I got one of those. That's okay. All right, man. Take care. Thanks.
Thank you very much for the beer.
Enjoy. Oh, no problem, man.
And try this Mexican Cerveza. It is amazing.
It's a good summer beer. Say 17.
17. I don't know what that means.
Well, that was my neighbor, Joel, and he told me to bring out the camera, so that wasn't my idea. Cheers. And yeah, it's the same thing. It's a Mexican Cerveza. Very nice. Yeah. You know, I mean, obviously, I would imagine if you brewed this from, you know, from all grain or something like that, you could, you know, but I don't know what there is to really achieve. I mean, it's a very light tasting, unobtrusive beer. There's not much to do. I mean, you know, it is what it is, and it's very refreshing. Cheers. Yeah. Happy Homebrew Wednesday, guys. All right, guys. You remember this little gadget here I showed you last week and the week before? So now I've got, hold it up close there. It's got the little stem on the bottom, so I've just screwed on a piece of filler tube from an old keg line I had, and I made it the right length to go into the bottle so that it wouldn't touch the bottom of the bottle, or it just barely touched. And I got a lot of these ideas from Gash Slug on YouTube. Sort of got the sort of procedure down from his video, so thanks Gash. Cheers to you, buddy. And so cut this on a bit of a slant so it doesn't go flush with the bottom of the bottle and plug up. And so what we're going to do is we're going to screw that onto the bottle. And I haven't got very good lighting here, but I'm going to do the best I can. So now the other thing, oh, I spilled some beer. Okay. Oh, this is because I already did this once, so just never mind. I've got a jumper cable here that's got the same thing on both ends. Okay, it's got a beer line filler on both ends. One of them sounds like it might be leaking. That's probably why it's made a mess over there. I'm going to have to address that later. Okay, so first thing, you need one of these for sure. And I've got my bottle here, and I do have a flashlight so that we can see what's going into the bottle, because it is dark, and I don't have any clear bottles to do this with. So I'm going to grab my gas line. Step number 1. You grab your gas line. Turn your gas up to about 15 pounds, if it isn't already there. Okay? And get it onto your bottle. Right? Now that's hard. That's pressurized. Now what you want to do is you want to bleed out all of the oxygen that's in the bottle. So, you know, there, I think that's good. So now that bottle is full of carbon dioxide, right? And it's under pressure. I'm going to reattach my gas line. Don't look at the inside of my keys here, it's a mess. And so there we've got that. Now, should have kept that opened actually. We've got our jumper cable here. And you can buy these actually already made, or you can make them yourself. It's got to have a beer line connector on both ends. All right, I had to take apart some of my keg equipment just to do this, but I'm gonna, you know, obviously I'm gonna put it back together. See, yeah, mine has a leak. Unfortunately, this is an old one. So, but I did sanitize everything, and let's just go ahead and get that right onto the beer bottle. Okay? Now, let me get my flashlight out. Yeah, I gotta buy a few more of these brand new, because this one's really old. So you can see that it's not really doing much. It's not filling the bottle. And that's because the pressure inside the bottle is pressing against the force, you know, the beer trying to get in. So what you do is you hope that your flashlight stays put, and you loosen, hope you guys can see this, you loosen the cap a little bit until it starts to hiss. And then you'll see the bottle start to fill. And if you can get it just right, like I have, it'll continue to just hiss, and your CO2 tank will start pumping more CO2 into your keg, and you'll very gently fill your bottle. Okay, it's getting near the top, so when it gets near the top, you tighten it off, and hopefully now when I take this off it won't leak this time. Good, it's not leaking. Just a little pin in there was stuck. So now there we have a carbonated in the keg and bottled with no foam. You can see that there's no, can you see that? No foam in there. It's steamed up because it's cold. But yeah, so you could leave it like this if you want, but I don't know how many of these things you have around. So what I would probably end up doing is then gently removing this cap. You take the cap off, okay, and you put on a sanitized cap. And there you're good to go. Okay, now there is a little bit of airspace in the top there, and it's probably going to be oxygen. Because when you pulled this out, it drew air in because you lost some volume there. So after you're done doing this to as many bottles as you think you need, then what you could do is just take the caps off, right? Put that back on, or you could have done this right after you filled it too. Either or, doesn't matter. Okay. Get your gas line again. See, because this is why it would be better to do it when you were finished filling all your bottles, so you weren't swapping cables around. Just get your gas line, hook it up, and just purge. You might end up with a bit of a mess. That's why you might want to do this in like a tray or something. And now that beer is oxygen free, and all I'm going to do now is take off the top, and the CO2 will stay in there because it sinks, it's heavy, and you put the cap on and store that in the fridge, and I don't see anything is going to happen to that now. That's perfect. Now, you can experiment with this, and if you slightly over-carbonate your beer in the keg, then the little bit of pressure that you're going to lose when you do this, because the bottle is kind of soft, so the beer will give off some of its carbon dioxide to make the bottle hard again, and you will lose a slight bit of carbonation. So what I did was, in the experiments that I did, was I shook the bottle like this, okay? And that's going to bring it hard again. It's going to equalize the pressure inside the headspace and in the beer. And this will simulate the beer sitting in the fridge for a day or two, or being jostled around during transport if you're sending it somewhere, okay? Now, I'm going to leave that sit for a few minutes, and I'm going to come back and I'm going to pour this into a glass. So, right back. Okay, it's been about 2 or 3 minutes. I didn't touch anything, I didn't touch the bottle, I didn't touch anything, so that you could see that nothing's moved, and it is in fact the same, it's the same bottle, there's no trickery here, okay? So let's go ahead and open it. See, a little bit of hiss there. You know, you don't have to do the shaking thing, but that's just to speed up the decarbonation of the beer into the headspace. Let's see what we've got. This is a Mexican Cerveza that I kegged a week ago. It's probably not all going to fit in here. Well, that looks like exactly the way it's been pouring out of the keg. The Mexican Cervezas don't have really have a lot of head. So let me have a taste. I can see bubbles. I don't know if you can through there. There's some right there on the front. Can you see those? A few stuck to the side. So we know we've got carbonation. And let me taste it. Cheers. Nothing wrong with it. It's slightly less carbonated than it was in the keg, but you could compensate for that if you know you're going to be sending these beers out. And you could also, the last step we did when I actually purged it and purged all the CO2 out of the beer, you could actually give it a little shake for about 10 seconds with the CO2 on it, and that will recarbonate whatever you lost in the beer when you did this transfer. So you experiment with this enough, you're going to have an excellent little bottling system from your keg. So you can bottle some of the beers and you can leave some of it in your keg, and it's a lot less work. It takes a little longer. Of course, you're going to want to have a plate or something here sanitized so you can put the stuff on it when you're not filling your bottle, and that's fine. I didn't really do it. This is just for demonstration purposes. So there you have it. This is called, I've seen it called a pressure filler nozzle, but it's under different names. And pressure filler nozzle, pressure filler beer line fitting, I don't know. If you do have a keg, you do have a keg system, I think it could be very handy to have a few of these around. Okay, so there you have it. Cheers. And so why don't we go for a little walk? It's about 2:30 in the morning here in my neck of the woods. Wow, this was one hell of a great idea because it's raining out. So I'm not sure how long we're going to be out here actually, but I'll walk over to the next street over and we'll have a little chat. And I just got to make sure I keep the camera dry, that's all. It's dark, it's a dark video, I'm sorry about that, because, well, it's being shot at night, so let's go over to here. So I love my Mexican Cerveza, and whoops, let's make sure I'm on camera here. And so I brewed another one. I went and bought another can of Cooper's Mexican Cerveza, and you know what? I do worry about mentioning names and stuff on my videos because people have criticized me for advertising, you know, companies and whatnot. So, but I just, you know what? Honestly, I just use the products. I don't endorse them or you know, get paid to talk about them or whatever. So that's, you know, just there you have it.
So I got myself another Cooper's Mexican Cerveza, and I'm sorry the video's dark. We'll get back into the dungeon in a few minutes. Because it's... Uh-oh. Okay, I hear thunder. Okay, yeah, it's probably a good idea to get back back in the house soon. Hear that? I love thunderstorms. Love them. Anyway, I'll just go down and walk around the block here. So I brewed myself another Mexican Cerveza because I love them in the summer. Awesome stuff. But unfortunately, I made a little bit of a mistake, and I didn't have any dry malt extract. You know, usually what I do is with a Mexican Cerveza is I do 700 grams of dextrose, 500 grams of light dry malt extract, along with the kit. So I bought the kit, and I didn't realize that I didn't have any light liquid malt, dry malt extract, so I had to use some amber dry malt extract. So it's not going to be a Mexican Cerveza. I don't know what it's going to be. I thought, oh my God, there's a lot of malt in this beer. It's darker, and maybe I should add some hops to it, but I didn't. I just thought, oh, you know what? I'm just going to do it this way and see what happens. So I basically what I did was the can of Cooper's Mexican Cerveza, 500 grams of amber dry malt extract, and 700 grams of dextrose. I don't know how it's going to turn out. You know what? I'm going to turn back. I'm not going to go all the way around the block. This is ridiculous. It's dark. It's raining. There's thunder. And my arm is getting really sore from carrying the camera. So. All right. Well, it looked a lot darker when I first put it down, but that's probably because now it's full of yeast, so it looks a little lighter. But trust me, the wort was dark. But it's bubbling away. Let's see if we can get one on camera here. Come on. Come on. There we go. See? And I got some wine going over here. California Red is what this is. This wine. Just show you the box. See? There you go. All right, let's go back and sit down. Cheers. 17. You know, I'm actually a little afraid, and I've been brewing for, you know, a long time, whether it be kits, all grain, partials, and whatever. That thing that's going on over there with the Mexican Cerveza and the amber dry malt extract, I'm not too sure how that's going to turn out, because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, like a darker beer needs a little more hop characteristic to balance out the malt flavor. But I'm hoping it's just going to be a color thing and not as much a flavor thing. So we'll see what happens. I didn't add any hops to that. I just did it the way I normally do, and we'll see what happens. It's a mystery to me, and as well to you guys. What happens when you take a Mexican Cerveza pre-hopped beer kit and you mix it with amber dry malt extract? There's nobody telling you can't do this. I certainly wouldn't expect it to fit any style guidelines, you know, but I don't usually do competitions anyway. So if it tastes good, boom, you know, it's all good. All right, guys, I gotta go. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Please post your Homebrew Wednesday videos. Get on that camera. Get on there and do something. It doesn't matter what you do. I'm just sitting here being an idiot. It's all good. And I got a lime in my beer. So there you have it. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please thumbs up the video too. If you don't mind, I would love that. It helps us YouTubers if you do that. And visit 17brewcrew.com. If you want to get in touch with me and ask me a question, I will be certainly glad to answer your question on there. That's where I hang out, And that's where we are. Our community is awesome, and that's, you'll never ever meet a rogue brewer or person on that forum, because that's what we do. We make sure that it's clean, and that nothing bad happens on there. So don't be shy, okay? Cheers. Take care, guys. Be safe. 17.